All right, we are, I want to say, about 25 minutes away from Starbucks reporting its very first quarterly report since the global coffee chain was plagued by the coronavirus pandemic. You know, they've got a huge Asia business, and that, of course, is where it started in China. Right now, ahead of the earnings report, we do have shares moving higher, firming up by about 1.75% to $79.10. But right now, the buzzword in the markets is reopening. Approximately 95% of Starbucks stores in China on the ground there, including its reserve roastery in Shanghai, have now reopened. Starbucks has roughly 4,300 cafes in the Asian country, which is its second largest market. But here in the U.S., Starbucks is adopting a monitor and adapt strategy to reopen some of its stores following the closures in mid-March. Some of the company's 15,000 stores total are gradually reopening, but mostly for drive-through and, of course, mobile and takeout orders. Still, no seating at the moment. Our next guest is on the Starbucks board, has been for years, and is the CEO of a cloud company working with some of the biggest names in finance and insurance amid COVID-19 to solve their biggest problems. Hearsay founder and CEO Clara Shai joins us now in a Fox Business exclusive. Clara, before we get to the boom that you're seeing in your company Hearsay, as a Starbucks board member, how have you viewed the way that Starbucks has handled both its lockdowns and reopening efforts, and what can we glean from what's happening on the ground in China now to what will eventually happen here in the U.S.?
Liz, thank you so much for having me back on your show. I think we can look to what Starbucks has done and China overall and really feel like it's a beacon of hope for the rest of the world, that things will get better, that we will recover. I think that multinational companies who have operations in China, like Starbucks, they're doing a really fantastic job of taking lessons learned on the ground there and applying them to other markets like the States.
Yeah, you see exactly what Starbucks was faced with, and it was a horrific situation, but the stock has come back. It has looked incredibly well. And management came out pretty early on and explained what it had to do and what it was expected to do. But here in the U.S., what do you think eventually changes for not just Starbucks, but for any big restaurant companies or any banks? They're looking at ATMs with people's fingers and germs on them. Restaurants and Starbucks are waiting on lines and figuring out how to deal with the hopefully upcoming crush of business returning once again.
Well, I think, first of all, it's a real testament to leadership. Leadership is forged in crisis, and it's really in these times that you see what your management team and your people out in the field are made of, and that's certainly been the case for so many companies. In addition to that, I think we'll see a new normal in terms of expectations around cleanliness and sanitation and clear standards to make sure that consumers trust those in-person retail experiences. And then the third, I think, is that we saw in China, and we're seeing now around the world, that COVID is accelerating digital transformation. Plans that organizations and business leaders were already had put in place and were underway over the next 5 years have been accelerated over the next 3 to 6 months just out of necessity, and there's not going to be any going back.
Do you have any last question on Starbucks timeline? CEO Kevin Johnson, we're waiting on him. After the bell, we will probably hear, but any timeline you would expect for stores in the U.S. to reopen for sit-down business?
I really don't have the data to be able to respond to that, but I think, the important thing is, as we saw in China, is it does get better. Stores will reopen, and although it won't be exactly the same as it was before, we will be together again and we will meet again.
Your cloud company, Hearsay Systems, I think you've got like 150,000 advisors who use it. They deliver, I guess, personalized relationships, sort of CRM, customer relation management. But talk to me about how you help companies right now with their number one biggest complaint from the client, and that is quicker response time. It's just been so slow. I know that my sisters were trying to reach Citibank, and it's not just Citibank, but they were on the phone for hours and hours. And I think that has become a problem with the response time. What is it that Hearsay does?
As you can imagine, right now, a lot of people want a response, but they also want a proactive reach out from their financial advisor or insurance agent. And what Hearsay does is we provide mobile telephony, text messaging, social media, all compliant digital communications between financial advisors, bankers, agents, and their clients. And what we've seen in the last few weeks is that digital touch through a human with a human has gone from being a nice to have to a must have. And so we're seeing it both ways, where the influx of client calls is unprecedented, but also the amount of activity and the amount of minutes that advisors spend calling their clients, calling them back, reaching out to them, it's also increased by 3 to 4x. So just really incredible amount of engagement there. And of course, despite we see them working on weekends, we see them working at night, they can't get back to everyone that they need to. And so they have to look at other channels. We call them asynchronous channels, like text messaging, just to let someone know, hey, I know you're trying to reach me. Let me know what you need so I can start working on it, and I'll call you back as soon as I can.
Mm-hmm. Before we go, because we've got to run, but you're working with social media and you're partnering with everyone from Facebook and Facebook's division, Instagram. In what capacity? I'm just interested to know what Hearsay does for a company like that.
Well, there's multiple aspects to social selling, from your profile, which the SEC views as an advertisement. So any changes to that has to be pre-approved by your compliance team, all those workflows, but also turning social media into an authentic content marketing engine. There's a lot of clients right now who want answers, not just regarding finances, but also regarding health, wellness, how to take care of their kids, their mortgages, job security, and all that content being shared through their human advisor on those social media networks is what's fostering authentic human connection.
It's fascinating business, Clara. Thank you for joining us. Come back again. Clara Shy of Hearsay.